Hi everybody, welcome to Live with Kim. If you're wondering why you're here tonight, here's a few reasons you might be here. Americans spend 10% of their disposable income, that's a lot of money, on fast food every year. Healthiness or healthfulness of the food that we eat decreases by 1.7% for every hour that passes in the day. People generally eat a healthier breakfast, a little bit less healthy lunch, then comes dinner, then comes nighttime eating. I don't know if you agree with that, but these are some statistics I found. 20% of all American meals are eaten in the car, and there's more. So if you're wondering why you're here tonight, this might be part of it. We'll be back to talk right after this. Well, in 2012, half of Americans who were polled said that they believed that doing their taxes was easier than figuring out how to eat healthy. So that's a pretty sad statement, at least from somebody who has a hard time doing her taxes. So thanks, Marcia. It's great to see everybody in here tonight. We've got Brenda, Chris, Eileen, Eleanor, Jackie, Jan, Kathleen, Laura, Leah, Libby, Marcia. Follow me, Ange. I'm coming over to the thing so I can scroll a little bit. And Tammy Night Owl, we've been talking about helping hands. We'll do that a little bit more tonight. Joe, good to see you in here tonight. We've got Janice, Rosie, Trina, and Alex, and Sandra. How's that? And whoever else pops in tonight. I'm just really glad that you guys are here with me. I'm feeling good because I know that tonight I'm going to go to bed. Pretty easy to say at this time of night, but not everybody's on the East Coast. Why don't you guys tell me where you live? I know Eileen's a little bit different. She's out there in the West. Tell me where you live. Most people I know anyway, but we do have quite a few new members, which I'm very excited about. So, yeah. As I was just reading Tammy's post, I don't know about in the car, but I agree about nighttime eating. I think as we're really focused on our weight loss, we eat less in the car unless we've planned and we've brought something. But I know when I'm like off, a lot of my meals are through the drive-thru, grabbing out to eat. So, and Suzanne's here. You got here for the Live with Kim. Suzanne's brand new. She, just like Grammy Scraps Susan, is a quilter. She likes to do a lot of handwork, which should help her out a little bit to keep her hands busy as she's losing weight. So everybody say hi to Suzanne. And we are going to, here comes the states. Put your state in. And let's get going on the meeting topic tonight. I have a brand new recipe for you. So I'm really excited. I'm going to make that up right now. And I have, for those of you who are in my 5:30 meeting, I have my extension cords. It's so good to see everybody. We got quite a few in Michigan. Kathleen is in, Catherine's in. Hi, girls. How is everybody doing tonight? I saw the small world comment, so I had to scroll back up, and heart transplant in the same town as where somebody's living, so that's kind of cool. Suzanne, everybody's going to say hi to you now. It's a really fun group in here. And Cindy is in. So Cindy and Ellen stopped by today. And I knew it was her birthday because we talked about it on Saturday. Like I'd forget my own birthday or my kid's birthday if it wasn't in my phone. For some reason, Cindy's not in my phone. Today is her birthday. So I'm running around crazy because I had forgotten another doctor's appointment. And I blew out and never even said happy birthday. So my friend, I wish you a happy birthday, and I have something for you girls tonight. So I know you're not feeling well. So I'm hoping that you're feeling better soon. So go ahead and stick around at least for the recipe part, which we're going to do right now. Look at that, all corners of the U.S. I just love it. Let me first just do the recipe here. It is a very simple, very easy pancake. Haven't done a pancake in a long time. And of course, you can eat pancakes at different times during the day. It is called a banana oatmeal pancake because it's not made with wheat. It is a gluten-free pancake, not the reason I wrote the recipe. But I'm going to use either fast cooking oats or I've got rolled oats here. So I've just, and if Ange wants to do the overhead, let me know if I'm centered here. If I need to push this a little bit every which way. Good enough? So I'm just going to dump everything in here. I've got a half a cup of rolled oats. And I've got, I'm going to do PB2 banana because it's banana pancakes. PB2 is a powdered peanut butter. It's not artificial, but they now have fruit flavors. So for the fruit part, they do put an essence of banana in. So it's got a nice strong banana flavor, but the rest of it's protein and 45 calories for 2 tablespoons, which is great. I'm just going to throw the water in. Normally you mix the water with the PB2 to make regular peanut butter. I'm going to put a little bit of banana in also and 3 fresh egg whites. You can use egg beaters. It would be a 1/4 cup. I'm going to put a little baking powder, baking soda, and cinnamon in also. And I'm going to use ricotta cheese. So I'm going to talk to you about ricotta cheese. I am using fat-free. I am not a real big fat-free cheese person because the hard cheeses, when they take away the fat, they normally add in some fillers, oftentimes carbs or sugars. But this ricotta cheese is just reduced fat, so it's like skim milk ricotta cheese. You have to try different kinds. I will tell you that I had tried all the major brands, the Paleo, the Sargento, all the major brands, and I did not like the fat-free at all. It was very gritty, did not taste good. So I was using reduced fat because I don't want something that doesn't taste good. However, we found a local creamery that just reduces the milk to skim milk in it. It is fat-free and it tastes like cream and it's delicious and it's very natural. So we do carry it here. My guess is that in your neck of the wood, there's going to be something like that as well. So now I'm just going to pulse it all. Get it all mixed together. I'm trying not to make it too, get the oats broken down too much, but it doesn't really matter. We're making a batter. And I'm going to clear it once, scrape it a little bit, and then pulse it one more time. And then I'm done. Now I'm just going to bake it. Here's the cool thing about it. When I wrote this recipe, all right, when I wrote, and you can see the batter in here, super nice. I'll hold it up a little closer. Are we doing the overhead, Scooby? Okay, so typical batters are 1/4 cup per serving, so I'm going to do a 1/4 cup. And when I first made the recipe, I was estimating that it would be a cup of batter. It turns out it's a 1.25 cups. So I got it from just under 100 calories down to, it makes 6 pancakes. They're 56 calories each, so I'm pretty excited about that. They don't need any topping. And they're really yummy. So let me put 1/4 cup in. And it's a scant 1/4 cup. It's not like a rounded 1/4 cup. Kelly Lynn's in from Pennsylvania. I'm going to do a light brush on a nonstick surface of fat-free cooking spray, which, as most of us know, is not really fat-free. And I'll show you the size of the pancake. You actually, so a 1/4 cup is 4 tablespoons. So if you wanted, you could make 4 silver dollar pancakes for obviously the same calories. So we'll make one of those. And this is what I'm going to make for Cindy and Ellen. I'm going to make a little Mickey Mouse, they are the Disney queens, pancake, and I'm going to save it for you girls for when you come in. Can you see that? And how's the overhead on this? Awesome. So we want to let this cook on a medium-high heat until the edges are firm. You don't want to be flipping too much because you take some of that air and you mush it down and it gets thin. So while we're waiting for that to cook, I want to make sure my scrolls are going here. Wanda's in from South Carolina. Hey, Wanda. Alex from Indiana, and Cindy's birthday. Look at that. So let me talk briefly about Helping Hands because I haven't done that in a while. Jan was in our 5:30 meeting. Tammy Night Owl is the night owl of the group, and both of them have been at goal for quite a while. So Helping Hands is a group led by these two women where you can get into the Helping Hands blog on our site. So Jan posts it in the morning because she's the morning girl, and the rules are very simple. It's under our community right off the main page. If you go in there, you'll see Helping Hands for today. And you get in the morning after you've planned your day and you say, okay, plan my day. I'm really intending to stick with it, but I got a tough time at whatever time it is. So say 8 p.m. is your tough time. You would get a text or an email if you prefer. Most people prefer text from Tammy. If it's a morning, you're going out for a brunch, or early afternoon, you get a text from Jan, and they will give you an encouragement right at the time that you need it the most, and they will kind of keep you going. And so it's a wonderful group. Then you are to get back in there at the end of the day and say how you did. So it's that added accountability, which is on you to say, I nailed it, I flubbed up here, this is what I intend, whatever. You give a little report back. It's for your benefit for the added accountability. So follow the rules and get the extra support. I don't know of another site that offers that. And so Tammy Night Owl, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all your support in this. And somehow, by hook or by crook, we're getting you out here for the reunion this coming year. So the reunion is the weekend of June 23rd, and I cannot wait. We are in the middle of planning. Let's not burn the pancakes. All right, this is Cindy and Ellen's Mickey Mouse pancake. Look at that, he's so cute. And this is our other one, which we're going to let cook a little bit longer. Look at that, for 56 calories. I'm really excited about it. And it's got a little sweet flavor from the banana, but you really don't need a topping. But I planned it in, 2 of them in for tomorrow. And I'm going to use our raspberry sauce, but I'm going to make it with blueberries. So I'm going to put that on the site as well, the raspberry sauce recipe. Did you know that maple syrup, regular, not light, just regular maple syrup, is between 200 and 220 calories per quarter cup? And our blueberry sauce is all natural, it's delicious, very easy to make. It lasts forever in your fridge. You can make it with any berry that you want, any fruit that you want. It's super sweet and delicious, and it is, I can't remember, but like 20 or 17 calories for 2 tablespoons. It's mostly fruit, a little cornstarch and water. And if you like it less sweet, you don't have to add the way low granular sugar. If you like it a little bit more sweet like I do, then you can add a little bit of way low. So thank you so much. There's quite a few people that use Helping Hands and love it, Eileen being one of them. And so you guys get in there, even if you've been around for a while, it's a really tight, wonderful group. So take a look at these pancakes that are so low in calories, very healthy, really yummy. And Cindy, this one is for you. Happy birthday, my friend. And you have to fight Ellen for it. Maybe you give her the ears. That's about a half a pancake there, not quite. Let me get another little plate out here. Bang. What a beautiful pancake. Really delicious and so easy. How easy is that, right? Very excited about this recipe. All right, want to make sure everything's off. And I'm going to give you one more statistic. Today is partially because we have so many newbies that have joined us. Yeah, extra sense of community, which is wonderful. The Walo sugar is a natural sugar. It's not a sugar substitute. We are the distributor for it, and we are one of the distributors, but you do get a discount, 10% being a member, getting it in our store, and we really appreciate your business and your support. And if you get the baking set, which is the powder, the brown, also called gold, I don't know why they do that, and the granular, you not only get the 10%, but you get a discounted price on all three. So consider getting it there. It's right in the store on our site. So today I'm doing basics of weight loss with a little bit of a twist. And so I'm going to draw up here over in the corner. I should have drawn this ahead of time, sorry. Our little logo. Our logo is the stick figure before and after girl. See if I can do this and do it justice. Okay, so here's our before and after girl. And obviously, I don't know if you can see this, I want to use the board for everything else. Thanks, Joe, I appreciate it. We really do appreciate the support. Here, we're going to talk about basics of weight loss, and I think you're going to get some insight to it. I know a lot of it you already know, but let's start with our calories, okay? So if I said to you, everybody has a BMR, do you know what that is? Not what the number is, but what the BMR is. And there's like a minute delay between you and me, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you. A lot of people get it confused with BMI, which is your body mass index. Doctors are using your BMI, you want to be under 25, for your healthy index. In their charts, they're using a BMI chart, whereas they used to use a height and weight chart, which is much more familiar to some of us oldies. Now they're using a BMI. That is not what this is. The BMR, the important word here is the M. The BMR, in short, is your metabolism. Your metabolism is how quickly you burn your calories. And the basic formula is to take your age, your height, your gender, so male or female, and your current weight. Not your weight that you want to be, but your current weight. And when you put that into, we have a BMR calculator on the site under the K tools if you want to go check. It's a fun way of finding out what your calories will be once you get to goal. Put in your goal weight as if it were your current weight, and it will tell you how many calories you need to stay the same. And this has really nothing to do with exercise. It has everything to do with just the BMR formula. So it stands for basal, which means your baseline. So it's first thing in the morning before exercise is factored in. Basal metabolic rate. So those four numbers will give you how many calories you need to stay the same. I know that's not your goal, but that's kind of where it starts. So I'm going to pick a fictitious woman who is pretty close to goal, doesn't have a whole lot to lose. My age, like a middle age, maybe upper middle age, medium height, and let's say her BMR is 1,700 calories per day. Why does she need calories? She needs calories to keep her body temperature up to 98.6. That energy, calories, technically called kilocalorie, is a measurement of energy. So your body burns energy to keep it constantly, a little bit at a time, to keep your heart rate up to 98.6. If you have a fever, you'll burn a little bit more energy to try to, white blood cells fighting all that infection and whatnot. You need energy to think, to blink, to breathe, to pump, to whatever. Okay? Now, a lot of websites that are diet websites will ask you to estimate how active you are during the day. Have you ever had somebody ask you that? What kind of job do you have? Is it a sitting job? Is it a, active job? How often do you go to the gym? Our website doesn't do that. We know that people overestimate in general how much they move and underestimate how much they eat. So we take your basic facts and we factor you with no movement at all. We call it slug movement. Nothing. And we reduce your calories to stay the same by approximately 500. And you get your calories. This is about a 500 calorie difference, calories per day. And we give you, let's say, 1,200 calories because we're reducing it because we don't want to eat for maintenance. We want to eat for weight loss. So we reduce it by about 500 calories. And the reason I say about is if I have somebody, and we do have some members who are in their 80s and 90s, we do, and they're very petite, not tall. They're not very overweight. So their baseline calories is something like 1,300, and I'm not going to reduce them down to 800 calories, right? So they would get a little bit less of a difference. Then I have younger men who are, a young man who's morbidly obese and very tall. I'm not going to reduce him only 500 calories. I'm going to reduce him a little bit more. But on average, it's 500 calories. The computer does all this for you, and the number you see is this number here. Somewhere between 1,000 and 1,600 calories, depending on your current size, age, gender, and height. So you're with me on the calories. We reduce by about 500 to get your calories to lose weight. So I want to point out a couple things here. The biggest thing I want to point out is that's not a big difference. It might seem like it, but with sloppy dieting, so if you're doing a lot of estimating, you're not weighing and measuring carefully, you're doing a lot of rounding. If you eat out a lot, not because you're eating out, but because you're kind of having to estimate and you're at the hands of the chef who's doing a lot of estimating, right? He's not carefully measuring everything straight across for calories. He's putting about that much in. And sometimes restaurants don't even give calorie information. Only chain restaurants do. So the eggplant parm or the chicken parm from one restaurant could vary hugely to another restaurant, even if they look the same. Could have a lot more frying, a lot more olive oil. And so if you're eating out, there's estimating. There just has to be. Bites, licks, and tastes. Everybody knows that stands for BLTs, bites, licks, and tastes. They can get us into trouble. And it can be things that seem very insignificant. Free foods. If you've ever had a program that's given you a lot of free foods, here's the danger. A bag of baby carrots, if you munch on them all day, they're about 120 calories. They're wonderful for you. Please eat them, but nothing's free. So if we're eating a lot of free foods, we're doing a lot of estimating, we could be doing a ton of work for maintenance calories. How's that going to make you feel? Come weigh-in day, when you get on the scale, and just because you've had a little bit of extra healthy free foods, or because you had to estimate because you were out or whatever, you've chewed up, pun intended, extra calories that you didn't even realize were in there, or maybe you forgot you put in. Like the other day, I always plan before I eat. And I had breakfast and then came down and put my food in that I'd eaten and then finished my day. And I'm like, I know I had something else. You ever do that? And it was a pear I had eaten that I had forgotten I had eaten. I did add it in and I caught it, but it's easy to forget things. One of the reasons we ask you to pre-plan. So, but one of the good points of this being 500 calories, only 500 calories difference is, I want you to think about it this way. If you, let's say you pre-planned and at the end of the day, you quote unquote blew it and you went and had 400 calorie giant cookie. Now, a lot of us would say, oh man, as long as I'm off, I'm going to eat 2 or 3 more of the cookies because I know I got to get back on again. And most of us have this all or nothing mentality. If you ate a 500-calorie cookie on that day and you felt like you blew it, you're still eating for weight loss. Now, I don't tell you this because I want you to feel comfortable in quote unquote blowing it. The blowing it isn't because of the calories. I talk about this all the time. The blowing it is because we haven't stuck with the plan. It's for the lifestyle change mentality purpose more than for the calories. But anyway, let's talk about, I want to do one more thing. Who knows how many calories are in 1 pound of fat? How many calories? And again, I probably won't wait for you to give the answer. I'm glad when Libby posted her steps, even more since the 5:30 meeting, because I am going to talk about that next. I know that everybody knows, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you. No way, Eileen! Her good friend's father invented the trampoline, and? All right, 1 pound is 3,500 calories. That means over the course of a week, if you eat 3,500 calories more than your BMR, your maintenance line, you're going to gain a pound. If you eat 3,500 calories less than your BMR, you're going to lose a pound. Okay? So with that in mind, if we are dropping you down 500 calories a day, how much weight are you going to lose in a week? 500 times 7 days equals 1 pound. But before you get discouraged, let me tell you this. Remember, we don't ask you how active you are. We factor you at slug movement. So even if you're not exercising, just by virtue of your extra activity of going to the grocery store, running around after your grandchildren, trying to think, running around after your cows, running around after your spouse, going to the grocery store, walking out to get the mail, cooking dinner, the extra activity, you should lose a good 1.5 pounds a week. Now, if you add in exercise, you can eat those exercise calories, but if you choose not to eat all of them, you could lose even more. And some people are factored, if you have more to lose, you're factored with a greater difference, so you could probably even lose more. This is average weight loss for the average person, your height, age, gender, and weight. So, Libby walks over 20,000 steps just about every day. She's a farmer, she chases cows, and she's invited us all down for free farm maintenance to be able to get in shape with her. One of the reasons she's at goal. So what does that mean? At goal, it means she's able to eat more. Not at goal, she's able to either eat more and on some days lose more if she doesn't eat at all. How do you know if you should eat your calories? Well, I'll tell you this. If you're training, so Eileen isn't right now because of injury, I don't think. I don't think she's in training, but if you're working out a lot and you're in training for something, you really need to eat those calories. A great way of knowing if your body needs the calories is to ask yourself if you're physically hungry or head hungry. I'm not going to get into that tonight, but please watch that meeting. There are ways to know the difference. All right, so that's the first part of it. Here's the problem and the good thing. The problem is that we can, when we first start out on a weight loss program, there's something that I've dubbed the life cycle of a diet. When you first start out, you are usually highly motivated. So a lot of people had a nice big restart come January 1, and that motivation can wane. And there's a few things that cause the low motivation. So if you start out, you're super motivated for quite a few reasons. It could be because the doctor has scared you and you're just really ready to do something. It could be because nothing's fitting. Could be a negative reason. Your blood work came back scary. It could be because of a really positive reason. You're getting ready for a wedding or a reunion, or I don't know, so many different reasons. But for some reason, maybe you're just tired of the overeating and you're feeling disgusting, you are very motivated. So that is the phase that we call, most people know this, the honeymoon phase, because the motivation is really high, especially if you're starting a brand new type of program, which we all like to try new things because we focus on it more. We're very intent on what we're doing. We're usually following all the rules. We're weighing and measuring. We're pre-planning. We're doing it to the nines. And so because of that focus and that high motivation, this is where our great weight loss is. It's called the honeymoon phase, and it's wonderful. But then what happens is we get into phase 2, and life happens. We've been doing this program for a while. We've gotten off a big chunk of weight. We're not feeling as desperate. Things are fitting us. We're getting compliments. We're feeling better. And we're getting really busy with other things. You were just as busy before. It's just that this was a priority and you didn't notice it as much. So we start getting a little bit sloppy. Sloppy dieting will give you up and down, very small weight loss. Now, you can get a low weight loss in the course of a week for no reason at all. I do a meeting about plateaus, and there can be a physical plateau because the scale is not just measuring fat loss. That's what we're looking for, but it's measuring everything on it. How much water is in your system, how much is in your gut, you know, when you went to the bathroom last, that kind of thing. It's measuring everything, so you can be down in fat and be up on the scale, which is super discouraging. That's why every time you get on the scale, you should give yourself a non-scale checkup. I would rather have somebody get on the scale totally expecting a loss, excited for a loss, and be devastated when they stayed the same or were even up a little. I would rather that than have somebody get on the scale and have a 2-pound loss and go, are you kidding me? I didn't do anything this week. I pigged out so bad, blah, 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 blah. Because it's a measurement of behavior. And in one case, the behavior is going to catch up with them. And in the other case, the behavior is going to catch up with them. So it's not that I want you to have a gain if you don't do well, but it doesn't happen often, right? So it's gonna catch up to us. And I know that will also come right off the following week if you are up for reasons other than poor eating or mis-eating, or you know what I'm talking about. Sloppy dieting comes naturally right after the honeymoon phase. It's one of the things that kills the honeymoon phase. So if you like this honeymoon phase to last a long time, make sure that you're pre-planning, weighing and measuring, focused. That's what's going to get your mojo back. And you better learn how to get your mojo back. It's called self-motivating, because if you don't, you're going to follow the same life cycle of a diet pattern. Then at some point we have a big off moment where we pig out. And as long as we're off, we might as well eat everything in sight because we know we need to get back on again. What happens during that off week is we say to ourselves, well, I can't go get a weigh-in because I can't tell everybody I was off, and I'm going to wait a week. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait a week, and next week I'm going to go back and get off what I gained this week and go back with a stay the same or maybe even a little loss, and I'm going to keep on going. So we missed the meeting we needed the most for motivation and for accountability. Because remember last week, it's not about having that perfect trip. It's about consistency and coming and getting right back on as soon as you were off. So if you make the commitment to always come to the meetings as often as you can, your chances of breaking the cycle are a lot higher. All right, And once we're off, then we're up and down 5, 10 pounds. We keep these little short starts and we're still hanging on. At some point, we just, I don't know, a lot of people give up or walk away for a while, gaining a lot of the weight back. And hence, we have the life cycle of a diet. And this is weight loss basics. It's not about the program, it's about the mindset. You can do this with any program. And we start thinking, oh, the diet isn't working anymore. And it's really us who aren't as focused and doing it as clean. Keep that sloppy behavior at bay. Your motivation will come right back. Make it like really clean. Make yourself not switch anything on your meal plan, no matter if it kills you. And it just, that saying no gives you power and motivation. Walk away, say, no, this is what I'm doing. Getting into bed tonight, following this meal plan. And as soon as you do that, you're one step more strong, more motivated, and we tend to at night, as the statistics said, we don't eat as well. Pre-planning is going to help you. I won't say anything more about it. All right, so there's our whole life cycle of a diet. So we've got the basics, we've got the life cycle of the diet, and now we're going to look at our people, because if you look at the difference between the before and after, first thing we notice is the pounds difference and the health difference. And if that's all you're going for, it's a lot, it's good, but if that's all you're going for, and you're not going for the mindset, behavior, doing it different, changing who's in the driver's seat, you or food. You ever not be in the driver's seat? Like, I can't seem to get back on. I can't seem to stop eating. I start out great. I'm eating all the wrong things. Every weekend I blow it. Food's in the driver's seat. So the meetings, practicing the things that I suggest to you, it's not for weight loss. I know you can lose weight without pre-planning, especially during the honeymoon phase. You're so ready, you're going to lose weight no matter what. It's really the reason we ask you to pre-plan. The reason we ask you to be accurate and weigh and measure. The reason we ask you to eat out as little as you can. I mean, we all have to eat out some. We all have to estimate some. But it's because we want to keep that life. We want to change how we used to do it. So if this is the same program for you and you're really looking for that motivation, motivation comes from doing. That's how you get remotivated. I mean, you don't want to wait for that horrible aha moment when your numbers are off and nothing's fitting. You want to catch it sooner, and it comes by doing. Action gives you motivation. And we wait to feel motivated to act, but you need to force yourself 2 or 3 really hard days. Pre-plan, follow it exactly. Pre-plan, follow it exactly. You're going to get up in the morning and you go, oh my gosh, I did another whole day. I'm feeling you're going to feel like a new person within 2-3 days, seriously. But you got to trust me on this. It's a matter of trust. I know you can do this. What else did I want to say? Any thoughts or questions? Let me check the chats really quickly. Susan is a quilter. Yeah, you know what? Suzanne, that's quilter, is Suzanne. She makes a good point. If you are not hungry, so that's my line. My line is not just my meal plan, but I don't eat if I'm not hungry. When I first lost my 200 pounds, I ate everything on my meal plan. It wasn't even in my thought pattern not to eat it if it wasn't on there. Part of what you want to strive for is learning the difference between cravings and head hunger and physical hunger. They feel the same initially, but after practice and watching some of those meetings, you will learn the difference. And the meeting's not about that, so I'm not going to get into it. But then it's great to start practicing. See, this is the difference between lifestyle change and just dieting. Lifestyle change will break the cycle. Dieting will give you the weight loss, but eventually the cycle will continue. So if you are not physically hungry, or if something small, like a V8 juice, those power V8s with all the I know it's because I helped her put it in this morning or yesterday morning. I can't remember which morning. And I know we got cut off, and then I had to run out for a doctor's appointment. So if you still have questions, you can ask me tonight or call me tomorrow morning, Suzanne. If you are not physically hungry, start practicing stopping and wrapping it up. You're safe. You can always have it if you're hungry again. It's there for you. But start practicing that. That puts you in control, not food. Okay? It's a great thing to practice as soon as you're ready for it. Some people just, it's enough just to make the meal plan. But as soon as you can, that's a great thing. I would encourage you not to undereat or not to not eat. Mark always hated double negatives. But don't not eat if you're doing it just for quicker weight loss. That always backfires. If you're hungry, eat the food. If you're not physically hungry, eat a little bit less and see, it's starting to give you control. Any thoughts on that? I prefer cooking it. It's really easy for me to say because I do have the cafe here. So I eat a lot of food that Lourdes cooks. So in some ways, I have the best of both worlds. She just made tons of lemon cookies, and there's always carrot cake muffins. So it's very easy to have 3 carrot cake muffins that are only 338 calories, and it's also got its temptation things with it. And I have figured out cooking at home. So I find it easier not to eat out. But I know a lot of people really, it's a big part of their lifestyle for whatever reason. And you can do it. You just have to be super careful. So my suggestion is if they don't offer calorie information, like a lot of places don't, really, honestly, if you're really looking to lose your best weight, best choice, and it's not your only choice, but best choice is to eat things that are what we call eat naked. So salads, steak, chicken, shrimp, not things that are mixed, like burgers, casseroles, things like that. Because they can hide a lot more calories in there, and always dictate how you want something cooked. If you get a grilled steak, the big trend right now is to butter both sides of the steak. It makes it taste better. It makes it crisp up better. So you really need to dictate how you want things cooked, not to get hidden calories. I think that's it for tonight. I'm going to leave you with a Bible verse. I did have, I'm not going to read that statistic. I do have a really nice Bible verse for you. I always end my archived meeting, my Monday night meeting, with a Bible verse because it helped me. You need to find what helps you, your inner strength, but I always end with that. So I hope you will allow me a little grace here if it's not your thing. This is from Psalm 145, verses 18 and 19. The Lord is near to all who call on him in truth. He fulfills the desires of those who fear him, and fear is in a very positive, loving way. He hears their cry and he saves them. And how many times, what is the other one? Psalm 118:5. I cried out to the Lord. In my anguish, I cried out to the Lord, and he answered by setting me free. So just grab your strength from wherever you can get it. And for me, it's his word and the Lord. All right, you guys have a wonderful night. It's good to see everybody. And go make those meal plans. Get that mojo back. Use helping hands. Call the center. Action. That's what you need. See you guys. Can I stop smiling now? You